Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Heartily welcome to the new driver assistance package in the S-Class.
Okay, let's go and see. I mean, we did some pretty impressive demonstrations there. So what part of the system is this?
This is the comfort part of the system now.
Okay.
I want to introduce you to the speed adaptation.
Okay.
Based on the map. So we take the map into the system, and now the system knows where you want to go and can react on every things at the street, like junctions, roundabouts, curves, toll stations.
And react in what form? Like controlling the speed, or like steering, or what?
So it will adapt the speed before the map event, and after that the vehicle resume to your set speed.
Okay.
So this is one I want to show you today. This speed adaptation is dependent on the dynamic select.
So if you're in Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort.
Exactly. Or in Eco. So first of all, I think you have announced it already. So the DISTRONIC adjustment is now at the steering wheel, not anymore behind at the lever. So everybody can see what he's doing with the system.
Okay, yeah. So you get the functions there, yeah.
Correct. So perfect. So let's get off.
Now the DISTRONIC Plus, it's connected to the GPS always.
Correct.
Or it has to be the DISTRONIC Plus always on, or if you were with navigation, it will also like detect like speed limits and stuff.
The DISTRONIC will be set on by driver, and it takes the map. It will take the map if available, and in general in the S-Class the map is available all the time. Not only for speed limits, now it takes the map for curves, roundabouts, toll stations, junctions, turns, and so on. I can overrule all the time the set speed done by the speed limit assist, so the driver is all the time the master in the vehicle.
And responsible for the ticket too.
Exactly. Yes. There will be an automatic photograph at the loop, so maybe we can arrange a ticket.
No, thank you. Well, if you're driving, if you want to take it, I don't know. We have a special expense account for that.
So now the vehicle slows down by its own, and I can have enough time to check if there's oncoming or cross traffic, or if there are any special traffic regulations. So speed control will be done by the vehicle, and I'm responsible for traffic regulations like traffic lights or traffic signs,
yeah,
and for the traffic rules. So if there's a oncoming or cross traffic,
or like a school area or something.
Exactly.
It has particular speed limits. So all these systems, all the speed limits are read by the map information, not by the signals on the side of the street.
No, it's a little bit more complex. So we take the map as one source and the camera as another source, and we fusion it together so that we get the best information about the speed limit.
So with the DISTRONIC Plus, I know if you're in a highway with clear marks on the road, the car steering on itself, and you can actually let off the wheel for a few seconds. Mm-hmm. But what would happen in a roundabout? Can the car steer that much, or there's like an angle that can stop steering on its own?
The car does a supportive steering, and the driver has to do it at the final steering through the roundabout. I will show you this on the road.
Okay.
Let's count how often I have to re-engage DISTRONIC at our test drive, and how often, or demo drive, and how often I have to brake or accelerate the system.
Okay.
So now the vehicle slows down for the T-junction, as you can see here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a traffic regulation. It says stop, so I have to brake the vehicle into the stop because of the traffic regulation. And now I can. So, as I mentioned before, the system is dependent on the dynamic select. So I now want to change to the Eco mode, because inside the Eco mode, during the Eco mode we can we do intelligent downhill coasting.
Okay.
So the vehicle knows out of the map that there will be a downhill route, and decide by its own to switch off the engine. Now the engine is switched off. And
0 RPMs.
Correct. And
so it not only tells you, I mean, helps you for safety, helps you for efficiency too.
Exactly. and the engine will be re-engaged. If it is better to charge the battery, then let the vehicle roll, because downhill you can charge the battery.
Oh, okay. So if we were like, I mean, we're still in the downhill.
Yeah.
How come it's not stopped the engine now?
Because the system now have to brake, and the brake energy is collected to the battery.
Okay,
so the
okay.
battery
You're
will be
recharging
charged.
energy.
Correct.
Okay, now.
So now, and the system brakes now I have to set the speed within 90 kph,
Yeah.
and the system controls the speed through the curves by its own. So it slows down and accelerates back to my set speed I've set. The system shows me what it for what it will adapt the speed. So the speed will be adjusted for a curvy road now, and it will say me how much it will be adapted. Now close to 90 kph, and after that it goes up to 100 again.
And now there's also reading the cars in front of us.
Correct.
Also, so it's like.
And the cars in front of us will be displayed as well if there are any cars. So they will appear directly.
Now it's slowing down. Yeah.
Now you can see
you
that
have a
the
car.
cars also seen. So now I changed to comfort mode back. So the comfort mode is different to the eco mode. So the braking is a little bit later, but the curve speed is as high as in the eco mode.
And again, in this situation, the lines are pretty well marked, so it's like guiding the car pretty much through that, right?
Let's show. So this is a very narrow road with huge turnings. So the system supports you very correct.
Wow.
But it gets on his edge. So the system border is very, very close. So this is why we can reach the system border, not that close, that we will inform the driver that he has to be in loop.
Oh, yeah,
now it's been informed acoustically that
because you need
take
to
care,
grab
take care. This is my system border. I will let you on a safe trip. So that the driver can feel the system border, that we won't give him the feeling that he's in a highly automatic car, because it's just partly automatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's an assistant system. So now I change to sport mode to show you the difference. You feel that the brake will be released to get the higher speed through the curve, and the dynamic is higher than before. What do you think how fast we can go through this curve ahead?
60?
It doesn't care, the system will calculate it for me.
And what would that be?
It will be 60, correct.
Oh, pedestrian. Which we don't see too much on the highway, I guess.
So, and now we reach a city limit. So my set speed will be adapted before the city limit, that I reach the speed of the city limit at the city border. So there's a city sign, and now I got the speed for the city.
So I mean, there's really no reason to get a speeding ticket anymore, right? I mean, if you go by the information in the car, like.
And now the roundabout, you can see it. You see the roundabout. It decelerates. I can check if there's traffic. No, there's no traffic, and now I got steering support, and I do the final steering through the roundabout.
Oh, okay.
And the system accelerates back. So, and if I want to overrule it, I can do this.
Just stop it. Yeah. Oh, the speed, you mean? Yeah.
Now I have to take care because there will be a speed camera ahead.
Does it warn you for speed cameras?
No,
too?
it's forbidden to get a warning device inside the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But there, in some countries, by law, they have to tell you there's coming, right? I think in France, I've seen like warnings that there's gonna be a camera.
That might be, yes. Yeah.
Oh, so there's laws against putting like a warning for speeding camera.
Correct.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Like in some states in the United States, it's illegal to use the speed radar.
Why do you need speed cameras when you get informed of them?
Yeah, I know.
So I think the state can save money if
Yeah, we just want to collect your money.
if they legalize such systems.
Yeah.
So very smooth distance control. So I want to close up to this car. I want to follow him closer so I can switch my set distance. I go back to comfort mode because I like this in city. It's very easy. Ah, there's a T-junction ahead. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
So the system tells me that there will be a T-junction.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, there is a T-junction. So the vehicle slows down.
If you have put the turn signal, would it help you start steering on that direction or not?
No, not because it isn't calculated how, when and how much steering it will be needed.
Oh, okay.
So now I have re-engaged the system once after more than 10 minutes driving on a rural road.
Yeah.
In the past it has been much more.
I mean, when they say it's like intelligent car, it's really intelligent. More than some drivers, right?
Yeah, it is really heavy to calculate the correct speed and the braking point all the time. And
yeah,
everybody did it in a special way. And some person get a better feeling for speed and some not. So the system is takes the job out of them, and everybody gets the same feeling how to drive through the curve. Now we got on better roads. It's curvy as well, but it's wider and with good markings. So the system is working really properly. And I want to show you now our hands-off system that informs the driver that he hasn't had his hands at the wheel. So after 30 seconds, first acoustical warning gets up, and it will be illuminated by a full display and the yellow flashing icon.
And what happened if you wouldn't react to that?
That is what I want to show you.
Oh, okay.
So
that kind of scenario that we just went through is like, for example, someone might have fainted or had a heart attack or something like
exactly,
that.
Yes.
So the car would avoid a much worse. I mean, that's already bad, but it would avoid like an accident.
Accident with the oncoming traffic or cross traffic or passing the road. So the best thing is then stopping the car.
Yeah. In
this worst situation, the driver getting a heartache.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to hurt other people.
Yeah. So and now I want to show you the active lane change. So we got on a road with more than one lane in my direction, and if I tip the indicator lever, the indicator will be held on during the lane change automatically, and the car will change its lane. It will be checked if the lane is free you want to go to, and if it's free then it goes directly, and if it's not free, like this,
yeah,
then the system stays in passive mode and waits until it's free, and if it's free, the indicator will be activated automatically, and the car changes lane. Now I have to reactivate the active lane change because the time has been gone until lane change is possible.
Oh, okay. So when we talk about autonomous driving levels, they talk about 5, right? This is 2, but it's like almost like going to the next level, because this is done much more than I have ever seen in any other car.
So you're totally correct. We are talking about 5 levels. So this is level 2. So it is a partly automated system. The driver stays all the time responsible for driving. So we close up to autonomous driving very securely, so that we have to know everything about every situation. It's not responsible to make a level 3 or 4 system without knowing each situation that can happen at the road. So now we know everything about speed adaptation and learn very much about traffic regulations and traffic oncoming and cross traffic. So as I mentioned before, the active lane change doesn't work on roads with just one lane in my direction. I will show you this. So there will be no lane change now. There is a
the car is intelligent enough to know that there's no
exactly. So and the car decides if a lane change is possible or not, dependent on the lane type. So if it is a solid lane, it won't do a lane change.
Okay.
And if it's a dotted lane, then the lane change is possible.
So moving forward to like the ultimate autonomous driven car, I mean, it has to have to do with a lot of the infrastructure around the cars, other cars, right? I mean, it's like the cars can do some of the stuff or most of the stuff, but there's when we get to that level, whenever that is, 20 years, whenever, it's gonna have to be a lot of interaction with the infrastructure, right?
The information about the infrastructure is really necessary to do this. So now the car is, I had said to the car that I want to turn here, and he slowed down for turning because I have set the indicator.
Yeah.
And now I can turn by just turn, and the speed will be controlled by the car.
So all these systems, besides helping you with safety, makes that ride much more comfortable too, right? Like you don't have to worry about that many other things.
Yeah,
you still have to pay attention, but you can relax a little bit.
Yeah, I have to pay attention and do the final steering.
Yeah.
I got supported steering, but the final steering I have to do. But it's possible to discuss or having a phone call over the air, so it's easier, as you mentioned. Yes.
And I guess it's I mean, the first time I tested DISTRONIC Plus, I mean, you have to learn to trust it because I mean, it's eventually gonna do it, but sometimes you think, I don't know.
But what do you think now about DISTRONIC?
No, I love it. I mean, even the previous generation, I recently drove GLC from Miami to Daytona, which is 254 miles.
I know
so
this,
I-95.
Yeah.
So I set it up at 85 miles an hour, knowing that I would never reach that speed because of the traffic. But I set it up there, and I pretty much, I mean, I've done that drive before, and it's tiring. I mean, like if you are paying attention the whole time, like you get much tired. When I arrived there, not only it felt shorter, but I wasn't that tired because I wasn't that so tense the whole time. I relaxed because knowing the car that could do the acceleration, the braking when other cars were coming in, like getting into my lane and all that. So it really worked. So that's what I said before. It makes the ride much more comfortable.
And the relaxed feeling you got on highways, you got it now also on rural roads.
Yeah.
Because you mustn't care about curves, roundabouts and stuff. It will be done by the system.
Obviously here in Europe and the United States, the map information is pretty accurate. How would that affect in other countries when there's not so much information?
For example, China.
Yeah.
China do special things with the map. So they also do... Oh, okay, the bus decides to... Okay, I activated the brake twice.
Yeah.
And re-engage the system twice.
Yeah, because so, I mean that there's certain situations that you cannot predict, right? Or
Correct.
The car cannot read.
Yeah. So about the map data. The map data in China is scrambled by the government.
Yeah.
So, but the features I've shown you today will be available in China as well. So it will work all over the world. We are working on this real goal.
Well, really impressive. Thank you very much for the ride. And I guess we should not only test it but learn to trust it too. Thanks.
Thanks.